Hello and welcome to Proverb Minutes. Today let's talk about the promise of God and how that incorporates into our lives and how we should respond in our faith to knowing that the promise is what lifts us to the heights of heaven. So let's go with the promise and go with Romans 4:13. For the promise that he would be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith. For if those who are of the law are heirs, faith is made void and the promise made of no effect, because the law brings about wrath. For where there is no law, there is no transgression. So the law was brought about so that we would know sin, that we would know right from wrong. Because just living on impulse doesn't really give you direction. The speed limit's 55. If we're going 110, well, then we know that there's a result to the action that we've taken. So the promise here is to the seed. It doesn't say seeds. We get that through the Bible. It says to the seed. And we see that through Abraham went up to David and Solomon and Nathan, and it came up around full circle to Mary and Joseph. And that the seed was Mary, the virgin. So in examining this word, it's not the promise that was made to the seed. The promise wasn't made to Mary exclusively, or the lineage that came through that. It was through the faith that each of us hold. That's what the promise is made for. It's made for the faith of each individual that believes. And for those that, say it's only ours, aren't those segregationalists? Can the Jews say that they're the only ones saved? And how many religions, even in the divisions in Christianity, claim we're the only one? The Catholics, the Protestants, the Baptists, and, the Buddhists that don't even need God, just self-awareness. And the denominations and creations of man, doctrines have no end in claiming that they're the only one. Do you think that Muslims and Christians get along as one? Very rarely does division create harmony. And to find our way back to God, we must look to His Word, because if we only isolate ourselves in superiority on pedestals of bigotry, which is hate for others, then how can we claim we have hearts of God's own grace and mercy? For where what triumphs over mercy? Mercy triumphs over judgment. And we get that from the New Testament. But here, as we look further onto this list, we see that, the law brings about wrath. And if only, those that are adhering to that strict law, was David forgiven? For he was a murderer and an adulterer. And he was forgiven. So we can be forgiven for acts of, violence, mistakes, whatever errors in judgment that we've made in the past. And it's our ability to recognize those that actually gives us wisdom, because bad decisions bring about good judgment. And that's been said. So if it's only the people through the law adhering to counting the mint leaves get into heaven, then the promise is no effect. And our faith is made void, because it's only a promise to a select few. Only those chosen by what? Lottery? Birthright? That's not what God created here. It's not through the law. The law was to expose our sins and our sinful nature. And our return is the call to come back through the righteousness of faith. When we believe in God, when we believe in this grace that He has sent, and the promise, more importantly, then we are touched. And the whole world has been offered this grace. Well, if you've liked Proverb Minutes, I hope you come back and return. Share this link with a friend. Subscribe. I may be reaching the end of my production without inspiration or support. For it is a lonely ride when one carries the weight without assistance. And isn't that the tragedy of our times? that people have abandoned one another. Excuse me. So let us return to the grace of God. Thank you for coming. Subscribe, please. Have a good day. Help someone, and let's go out and have that better choice in life. Bye-bye for now.